All right, everybody, welcome to another Power Comics book club. Little bonus edition here as we're going to be looking at Vendetta, Holy Vindicator number 2. I am joined here by Benjamin Marra. Ben, how's it going?
Going well, thanks.
Welcome to the show again. And Gabe Deichel, who is the Power Comics head researcher. How's it going, Gabe?
Hey guys, what's up?
You love that. Do you want a title too? No, I'm just kidding.
I love it, man.
You love your title?
Great.
Gives my life meaning.
All right, so we thought, since we've been doing so much in the Red Bullet comics sphere, Ben and I recently interviewed Steve McArdle the other day, which was just awesome.
Incredible.
To talk to him for an hour. We reviewed Vendetta issue number 1. We thought, we should look at all the Red Bullet comics and get all of the whole comic. What do you call it? Is there a word like, filmography, discography for your comicography? Do they have that? Is that a word? Or they don't have that?
No, I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. Just like they call it, bibliography. There you go.
Bibliography. Okay, so this is the Steve McArdle, the smear.
It's a power schmear.
Here's the power schmear of Vendetta number 2. Vendetta number 1 we loved. It was so good.
So good, man.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Just so obsessive, so amazing. Metal to the bone, metal to the core, metal to the chain.
Max.
Yeah, just wrapped in chains. Satan shows up. Gatling guns show up. Everything spikes. It was amazing.
Yes.
Christian dark overtones, inner struggle, inner turmoil. It
had
it all.
It's a corporate satanic ritual. I mean, how fucking cool is that?
That is true. Yeah.
That's pretty great.
And so let's take a look at issue number 2 without further ado and see where our story picks up here. Immediately, just metal in your fucking face, screaming at you out of the gate, is fucking artillery, here, who, as we know, is a character who would later have an amazing spin-off issue, which we definitely have to look at because it actually might be Steve's best work in some ways. But this is just an amazing here. Just right off the bat, signed by Steve. I love how in this issue, too, 2 things right in this inner cover here that jump out to me. One is this is your individual serial number, your own fucking serial number, which is awesome and total cyberpunk awesomeness. And then, of course, that he dedicated it to the king.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah, dude.
Let me ask you a question because I'm not as Ben. I'm not as as familiar with this kind of thing. But obviously, everyone loves Jack Kirby now. But do you think there was a period in Steve's time where Jack Kirby was a little lame man, back in the early '90s? Is that true?
Yeah. I mean, back in the early '90s, yeah,
maybe
there was
comics.
There was a great appreciation for what he had done. I think it might have been circling back around that time, and I remember going to a convention where he was speaking and at a panel, and when he introduced himself, the whole room erupted in applause. But he suffered some I don't know, he fell out of favor with the Marvel and the publishers and the people that were working at the publishers. They thought his artwork looked too crude and it just wasn't keeping up with the times. It wasn't illustrative enough. It wasn't realistic enough. So yeah, there was some consensus about Kirby not being so great for a while, but
because he wasn't with the kids and with the times.
Right.
Well, it's when you have such a distinctive style, that's the risk you run, is that you're gonna fall out of favor, because he was so out there, I mean, he was so fucking weird and amazing.
He's the
he really is, and especially in the 90s when everything started to look like Image Comics and you were getting all that stuff. It was just so far in the other direction in a lot of ways. I'm not saying
totally. And it's so weird too. When you look at his work, obviously it's incredible, but he kept drawing all the characters have a version of his face. Everyone looks like him. It's this Malkovich world that he creates, which is so singular. That's so weird, Anyway, moving on. 500 copies, limited run here, which I think makes it extra special. It's a pretty small print run here.
Definitely.
And to what you just said, real quick, I can see Steve McArdle posing in the mirror to draw this face. It looks like Steve a little bit.
It does look like Steve. You're right. It does. It does. You're right. Like the eye separation.
McArdle.
Is the same. Very McArdleian. Also, something that came up in the interview Ben and I did too is just how it's so cool. Such a page out of the heavy metal book here that every time Artillery says his name, he says it in logo.
Yeah,
I love that.
But Artillery says either you walk out of here or you'll be carried out.
It's a nice detail.
Yeah, it's great. It's really, really great. So then we're just like hurtled into this,
dude.
Just like fucking amazing. Here's the warehouse where we left off with Bludgeon and Artillery showing up. Satan's back there. Some druids. And here we go. The Sinner and the Savior. One thing that popped out to me right away is when I was looking at this, and just to quickly go back to, let me get the Artillery issue real quick, which is over here. When I first saw this, and I was like, oh, sick, like Gatling gun, machine gun, right? And then like I'm looking at this issue, which is like I believe the first time that I noticed that the way this gun is.
Yeah.
It's like this hair dryer kind of Gatling gun, which is very unique design. It's like
very compact.
So bizarre, yeah.
Very compact.
It's like a Gatling gun pistol.
Handgun, machine gun.
A hand minigun. Yeah. Amazing. Love it. And so then here we see an inner thought bubble here from Vendetta, who's like Artillery guy thinks that I'm one of the Lord Leviathan goons. Because, obviously he looks pretty metal as fuck, so that's probably why. And so then he's dodging out of the way as he's shooting through Bludgeon here. Amazing splash page. Love it.
Oh, so good.
It's great. Yeah, I love these splash pages that Steve does because it's like instantly into the action. Whereas with like Private Ice and Dreamkeep, we start off with just like architecture shots.
Right. Like, slow burn.
Yeah.
Dreamkeep had 2 panels of the Dreamkeep tower next to each other, side by side.
Right.
This is just going straight for the
It's just
what you want. This is what you need.
Nitrous right to the injected right into your bloodstream.
Yeah, going right for your face, ripping it off with it, and it's awesome. And this is like this issue here. I love this little guy. This whole thing here is this issue to me is like a very transitionary issue, because I think issue number 3 is where things slow down a little bit. We get to catch our breath. This is like the guitar solo issue where it's just literally nonstop mayhem, and like you're seeing just like it's just nonstop.
Well, issue 1 ends on that crescendo where it's just like, what the fuck is gonna happen? And now he's gotta deliver, and he does, man. It rules.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, totally. So then we get this awesome action scene here. Vendetta's doing this amazing flip. Again, shades from issue number 1, having inner monologues while in mid flip, which I love.
Hell yeah, dude.
Kicking down these druid guys here. And then of course it's awesome too. Like when I looked at this, I was like, that looks like he's not even like kicking anything. He's like kicking just like a cloth. There's no mass inside this. And then of course that is exactly what's happening. So he drew that really well to like show that, in my opinion.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing, man.
He really does. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good artist.
Absolutely. And then Lord Leviathan, aka Satan, here is spawning some of his creepy crawlies here, which is awesome. Love it. Right?
Yeah, it's so great.
I hate bugs.
Then we get some good inverted action here. Now we're the comics on black, which is cool. Something we'll definitely see in the 3rd issue, more so. Now they're fucking teaming up here, guys, and that's a big moment for anyone like under the age of 15. I feel like.
Yeah, it's pretty quick.
Partnership.
Alliance.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm here for. I don't really care how it gets done, just as long as they start fighting together.
Yeah, exactly. And look at this gun too. I mean, this gun, but then this gun, like just like 3 beams. I love it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, I think I initially thought that was just one weapon, but it turns out I think that's his hand moving up and down.
Right. It's like trailing.
It's like one gun.
He's spraying.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. But I had the same thought. I was like, wow, that is an insane gun.
Yeah, it's insane. Yeah.
But no, that's.
I got you.
Yeah. The movement.
More fighting action. Love this. Oh yeah, because you can see he's using that same trick here again.
Mm-hmm.
We're just spraying this bug man. Just amazing. Scream.
Yeah.
Love the trippy double face people too. Always love that trick. And then of course they're talking to each other while they're battling. It's great.
Panel 4 is like fantastic just on that previous page.
This one?
Just like there's like the foreground that's like the all shot up bug, and then artillery from behind you see is like mohawk in that crazy perspective, and then both of the guns are like firing at the bludgeon, and this is like a lot. He's achieving a lot of things in just that one panel.
A lot of gimmicks. Yeah, a lot of different things just to make it super dynamic.
Yeah.
So action packed.
Yeah.
So here it looks like Bug Dude is able to pierce through the severely ripped calf of artillery.
I felt that when I was reading this before. Ugh.
Yeah.
That's so fucked.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Fuck you. I love that too. It's censored. Fuck you. That's his reaction to his calf being pierced by a.
Yeah.
It's amazing. This is cool too. Down here, having the full splash there.
Yeah.
Of him and tussling with bludgeon there. It's great. Just action, just nonstop.
Non-stop action.
More so, almost dizzying. But
yeah.
And then we see some more here. We see this bludgeon being flung by the hand of Vendetta here. Just so, wow, just amazing.
Yeah.
Looks like a pipe bombs are getting into here. Is that what's happening? I think so.
It really is just page after page of this one massive fight scene. It's insane.
Yeah.
Puts like a stick of dynamite or some sort of pipe bomb in his mouth there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Blows off his head, of course, or his mouth, which is pretty awesome.
Oh, so cool.
So cool. So now they're kind of celebrating their victory together here, and they're going to make their way for the exit, which is awesome, because we're going to get to see them hang out here in a minute.
I love that.
I love that too. It's the best part.
Yeah, it definitely is.
And here comes Roger Stone, one of my favorite villains in this world. Meanwhile, Chemicorp President Roger Stone speaks to his men, and then now he's kind of, I think, telling him that, this is shades back to issue number 1, where he's saying, hey, like, Damon Scott, the guy you guys were supposed to handle and make it look like an accident, is actually now Vendetta. And he's really pissed about it, and he's yelling at his little cyborg men. So then they're like, okay, we got to go out and get him.
It's so weird because Steve like definitely has a really good grasp of anatomy and like perspective, and he really knows how to like articulate a body in insane positions in these action shots, but then he'll throw in like the most rudimentary eyeball you've ever seen because it's like a weird artistic choice. Like, it's a close-up on an eyeball, and it's like the most basic power comic eyeball you've ever seen, but this is his style, it's a stylistic, it's not because he doesn't know how to actually draw it, it's just he's so interesting in that way.
I mean, maybe it's just, I mean, obviously he just came off of probably something that took him 6 months to do, I don't know, like,
yeah, but I mean, but you look at it, it's like, I can draw a little bit myself, and I would have trouble with some of this, compositions and the way he's holding people in these weird shots, and then just there's some really interesting weird choices like that. Yeah, always.
Works a lot with that too, which I think is really smart. Yeah, awesome. Oh, thank God, this character.
Oh,
yeah.
This is where issue 2 really takes off for me. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I agree.
But this is kind of why I'm here. So now let's see. Uptown in Omega City's residential area, a taxi cab delivers a lone passenger, a very distraught Karen Holbrook. And so she enters her little beep beep code and walks into this study here. This place feels so cold and empty. He obviously hasn't been here. I doubt I'll find any clues. What did I hope to gain by coming here? The police haven't found him yet, so how can I hope to? Oh, Damon. So now I understand she knows Damon. Where are you? I know that you're alive, and you have to be. If only I could find you and tell you how I felt. I would tell you that I love you. Again, the close-up. But
such
amazing.
A cool... Love that rug. The first thing I thought when I said it, I was like, what a cool rug in his apartment.
Yeah.
It's pretty badass.
I was like, is this Tina Turner? That's what I thought the first time I saw it.
Oh, yeah.
It's really... She's serving it. She's serving it to an empty apartment. Yeah. Just strutting in.
Yeah, it's amazing. So now our homeboys riding on Vendetta's awesome ride. And hey, you want to get some cold ones, brother? Love that. Sure. And then he's like, you want to visit a hospital for your bug leg? And he's like, no, I'm good. And so then they stop by Hell's Kitchen.
Perfect.
Because it's just crazy enough for both of them to be seen in.
Yeah, I know. Totally. Hell's Kitchen, and he's like, it's been fixed up since the last big fight here. Besides, it's crazy enough for us to blend in. So exactly. And he says exactly. And there they are in this amazing underrated panel here, I think.
Great interior shot.
Yeah, just these like wastoids. Amazing.
So good.
Part of me wishes they had like gotten a beer at like Fuddruckers together.
That would be nice.
Or like
got
Perkins.
Some appetizers or something like that.
Yeah, appetizers. Mozzarella sticks.
Steve, I love that Steve really brings it on his backgrounds. Like he just doesn't like cheat on that at all.
Mm-hmm.
Just,
no,
I don't know. He's really setting up a sense of place.
Yeah, totally. This to me actually reminds me of. It's actually in this issue. Sorry, this actually reminds me a lot of the Right to Remain Violent art a little bit.
Oh yeah,
that's so cool.
Just like so much stuff happening, in the background. Like you can just look for little mini stories that are occurring, and that's kind of here.
Yeah.
Like, with all these different things that's going on. It's just really cool. Really cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Artillery and Vendetta hanging out. Then they start kind of exchange information here. Like, what do you know about that place? I got a wiretap. He's talking about how he's got a wiretap into that place. And he's like, maybe you were set up, and so now he's like, oh shit.
I could read a whole comic of them just hanging out in a bar for 22 pages and like, tipping their waitress and just spending some time together.
As like other things are like happening around them.
Just like my dinner with Andre.
Yeah.
But
my dinner with Artillery.
Vendetta and Artillery.
Yeah, totally.
Do you like IPAs? So I can't remember. Artillery was just staking out the same spot just coincidentally, right? There, he's not.
Yeah.
He's just. I think he just was like following some other weird lead that led him.
I think he was. I think it was a random. I actually missed that when we were going through it, but maybe.
I think it's like in that exact page you're on or something.
So what do you know about the warehouse? Vendetta's asking him. Other than it made a good boxing ring, not much. That building was empty for years. I heard the noise and decided to investigate. So he was just passerby.
Just heard a noise.
Noise. Thought I'd come blazing in with my fucking Gatling mini handgun. Yeah. Never can be too sure. Yeah, and then he goes and gives some little exposition here. He says that, my father died at war fighting for a bunch of thankless cowards. I've learned to fight on my own terms, follow my own orders.
Yeah.
And that's when, like, he's got that deep rooting part where he's like, I don't really work with partners, man, which is,
right.
Which is cool. And then Trouble at 9 o'clock. The Roger Stone's men find them here drinking at the bar. Surrender or die. And then we can hear the metal rise in here because we got another fight scene approaching.
Yeah.
But this time we learn, hidden in his crotch, Vendetta's got some throwing stars.
Yeah, baby.
Yep. Take out some guys. I love this too here. This is this supposed to be Vendetta's? Or sorry, Artillery's bottom of his foot? Or is that?
Oh,
good question.
Like what?
Yeah. That would be my guess.
Yeah, it's pretty like, yeah, he's like just diving forward, I guess. Like,
yeah.
You know.
And again, it's like his throwing stars are just like star cookies. They're like crazy weapons. They're like scribbled star. Like, this is interesting. Every single one of these issues has this page where you have to turn the book sideways. He has this composition, I think, in every issue. Just I think one page maybe.
Yeah.
Each one. It's really interesting.
Ben, where is this something that like was pretty popular at the time? Like this kind of an idea to do the vertical?
Yeah, I've seen it before. It's used rarely though.
Right.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting gimmick, you know.
Yeah, we didn't talk to him about it actually, but every issue does have this component of changing up the vertical to the horizontal.
Right. It's for one page or one
splash,
you know.
Usually. Works well here though, because you know here's these guys, and I love this where he's put up the table in front of him and is ramming these guys.
So cool. Yeah. Such a great panel.
Yeah, throwing this guy off into this panel, which is cool. I love how the table legs are kind of breaking out outside of the frame here.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Very smart.
Yeah, just add something different, because I mean we've seen so much mayhem already that he's got to find a different way to kind of like contextualize it, and he's done that successfully by changing it to the black background and then changing just the orientation of it. It's pretty cool. So then Artillery and Vendetta break out of the bar, and then that's when they split. Artillery pulls out his little, you know, what do you call these things?
Grappling hook.
Grappling hook. Yeah.
Grappling hook, and he's like, "See you later, buddy." And then let's meet up again. And then he's like thinking Vendetta saying, "Interesting guy, Artillery, well-meaning but pretty violent in his approach."
Yeah.
Love
but
that.
then again, I'm pretty violent too.
Yeah.
I know.
In what way is he worse than you, buddy?
Well, just the Gatling gun, probably.
Yeah, there you go.
Love this, guys.
Yeah.
Oh.
So good.
Very
it's
exciting.
all about this homeboy right here, actually.
Yeah.
It's all
What's
about
his story?
I don't know, but we should make his side comic.
Yeah.
So then Roger Stone's here, and he's calling in Miss Danvers. Put me on line. Oh, that must be his assistant. Put me on the line with the mistress. Isn't she out of town, sir? Not my mistress, you fool. The mistress. Now do it. Yes, sir. So then we get that's an amazing. So then we get the mistress. No one knows her real name. She is known as the mistress of the underworld to the police, and is the mistress of pain or death. So she's also known as the mistress of the underworld, the mistress of death, and the mistress of pain. 3 names. To her astutely cautious adversaries. So then Roger Stone gets her on the phone, on the speakerphone, and then she's like, "I need you to track down this guy immediately." And so she's gonna track down presumably Damon Scott here in the next issue, as we're left off with one of the best characters in the whole entire Red Bullet universe, which is Black Dagger, who is adorned on the cover of issue number 3. One of the coolest, I think, characters he's made because of this fucking awesome techno forearm blade that I'm obsessed with.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And the other just amazing, unbelievable thing that we learned and saw in the interview with Steve McArdle is that he actually had a figurine manufactured of this, which is just
unreal.
Unreal. So that's going to be amazing to look at. Issue number 3 just off a glance looks like that's a real winner issue to look into. I think even on our interview, Steve said it was the one where he really just went even overboard. Like he went even too far over the edge into that. Into how obsessed he was over the drawings in that issue. So that'll be interesting to look at when we look at that. And then here, he wraps it up with this letter, and this is what we were mentioning in our last video with Steve, is that he's now fully committed to these books, and he's quitting the band, man.
I know, heartbreaking.
He's quitting his band to pursue this. And in our interview, Steve attests that to grunge coming up in the scene, but I don't know. I'm kind of feeling that it's he's really fine, and rightfully so, seeing that he's got a future with this.
Yeah.
Right?
Totally.
So amazing, and then of course we're left with one of the heavy metal funnies.
Oh,
Nick
yes.
Noise, which we love.
Love it.
Right?
I actually love these so much.
I know.
So great. It's such a nice touch to add this to the back of the issues.
It's very true, because it's like a nice decompressant, like aperitif,
Totally.
from the thrashing madness of these issues, just to kind of take a break and enjoy these guys.
It's great.
And then of course, The Right to Remain Violent, Lethal Fury cover, which we've come to love. And then again, the back cover, the awesome logo that's been created for this. Not one thing unthought of design.
I know. No. He's really just such a master. He's such a craftsman. It's unbelievable.
It's really great.
There you have it.
It's interesting because there's so many, like we talked about before, like one-off, one-shot power comics that don't go anywhere. But even this, even issue 1, even it ends on a cliffhanger, and had it ended there, it's still amazing. It doesn't feel like you're losing anything,
No,
definitely.
It just keeps going. He's so unbelievably talented, man.
Very
such
talented.
An incredible eye for design and composition, and just so
minus
good.
The throwing stars that you threw him under the bus for.
Well, I love all this weird stuff. I love it. I'm not throwing him under the bus. I'm just messing. Interesting choices,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's the stuff that it makes sense at the time, but then when you kind of look at it objectively, you're like, wow, that was a weird choice.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
I personally, I honestly think it fits his aesthetic perfectly. Like
it does.
For sure.
It's his style,
It's a complete vision.
Totally. Mm-hmm. And that's one thing about Steve that's really apparent, is that a lot of power comics that we look at are half-baked, extremely half-baked, if even that. Even quarter-baked, in terms of the concept, the execution, the just all that, like, and
which I do love.
Which we love.
Yeah, of course.
Disclaimer, we love, because it's just that otherworldly quality that it gives it. But I think the other end of the spectrum is also power comic. It's like you have the quarter bake side, and then you have the like, whoa, meticulous, it goes overboard, not meant for civilians version of that, which this is where everything's hyper figured out and labored over, and meticulous, like the logo's perfect, the idea behind the logo is so fucking cool, the just like you get your own fucking serial number, like there's so much to this that is just part of, he's created not just a comic series or anything, he's created like not even just a brand, he's created like this whole like complete like I don't even know.
It's a singular vision. That's the other side of the spectrum. It's just these artists who just can create this perfect, perfectly encapsulated universe.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the really kind of art brute, rough, not so technically good stuff is also singular, and it's their attempt. But it's usually it's a different part of that spectrum,
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Well, awesome. Thanks for joining us on this video, looking at Vendetta, Holy Vindicator, issue number 2. Man, we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep looking at issue number 3, 4. We're gonna look at artillery. We got to crack open some crowbars.
Oh my God,
we got a lot of Steve McArdle to get through. So we definitely, I think, owe it to him to go through everything he did for all the work he put in. I think we should definitely, treat it with the same level of meticulousness. Anyway, thanks for watching this. If you're not part of the Patreon, which I think you are, because that's where we're going to put this video, but patreon.com/powercomics, and follow us on Instagram if you're not, which is Instagram at @power_comics. And that's it, guys. I don't have anything else, unless you guys have anything else. I'm done.
Nope, all good.
Nope, that's it.
Okay. All right. Thanks, everybody.